if physical challenge is my challenge, guess what? I guess I have no choice but challenge my physical challenge. So I decided that in 2016, I've never been to a gym before. I never signed up to a gym. Don't know how to work these equipment. I was really afraid of breaking them and, being myself, getting myself broken. So I was afraid to go into the gym. But in 2016, I decided I'm going to go sign up in the gym. So I did that. That was my number one, my first step of wanting to find out what would it take for me to fight in this. So I went and signed up to a gym. And then the second thing I did was I hired myself a personal trainer, because obviously I don't know how to work these machines. So I need someone to show me, to teach me how to do it. So I hire a professional, I hire a personal coach. And then the third thing I did, at that time, all my friends, they were talking about how amazing it is to do hiking, to go out and climbing mountain and going to Peru. And so I could never participate in those conversations with them, because it was that part of me that I just couldn't do. So one of my goals is actually to be able to participate in those conversations. So that same year, 2016, I made a promise to myself. I'm going to promise myself that I can do this, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to hike. So I started hiking that year. And the other goal that I had was, I don't want just hiking. I don't want to just go up to any mountain. I want to go up to Machu Picchu, and I want to do the Inca Trail. So the Inca Trail is 26 miles, and it's a 4-day hike. And each day you kind of have to just camp out, and you have to rough it out. There's no shower, there's no toilet whatsoever. You really have to rough it out. And so in addition to just being rough it out, I was there. I flew myself to Peru. In that same year, in September, I flew myself to Peru, and I don't speak Spanish, by the way. I flew myself there, and I had my 2 crutches, and I brought my 2 pink arm crutches, because it has to be pink. It has to be pink. So I brought my pink crutches, went up to the mountain. I got food poisoning the day before the hike, checked myself to the infirmary the night before. And I remember calling my sister. I said, I'm really sick. I'm in the hospital right now. I don't know, can you talk me out of it? So my sister was like, yeah, you need to come home today. And I thought about it, right? And I was there, no, I made it this far. I'm going to go. So after we hung up the phone, I told my sister, I'm going to go. And lo and behold, the next day, I went up to Machu Picchu, started my first day of hike. On the first day, it was all uphill. It was all incline. So I remember I had a lot of difficulty, because the high altitude syndrome, it was real.
Right.
Yeah, it was real. And I remember I was getting tired. I was dehydrated. And so my immune system was kind of down. So the first day was a struggle. And I barely made it to the final camp that night. And my team leader, the tour guy who was with us, he sat me down and he asked me, because past the first day, if I made a decision to come back, then there's still a chance that I can come back.
Yeah.
So he sat me down and he said, Michelle, I know you were struggling, and I know this is something that you want to do, but, you were leaving behind, you will kind of have a difficult time to catch up. What do you want to do? So he gave the option to me, and I thought about it. I said, thank you. I appreciate that you letting me know that after this point, there's no turning back. I say, I appreciate that, but I want to continue. So every morning after the first day, so starting on the second day, every morning I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I would start my hike. I would put my headlight on. It's still dark outside. You can't really see the steps. I would put on my headlight, and I would start my hike. Every day, 5 o'clock, I would start my hike. And I can barely just made it to meet everybody around dinner time, around lunch time, around break time. And all these people that I met during that trip, it's been an amazing journey. And so I did that in September 2016. On the very last day of the Inca Trail hike, we were at the point of the Sun Gate. So this is the final entry point before we get into the Machu Picchu. So I was looking at these steps, the final 50 steps at Machu Picchu. I looked up, it was 60 degrees angle
Right.
or 70. Yeah. So I was looking up and I said, oh my God. I wasn't sure, what have I done? How
Right.
am I? How am I going to finish this last 50 steps with my 2 crutches? And the steps were really narrow and small.
Yeah.
I stood in front of the Sun Gate. I was looking up and I thought about all my life for this very moment. Okay, I'm here. What do I have to do to finish this?
Right.
So I gave my 2 crutches to my team leader, took off my day tag, hand the day tag to him. I said, here, you meet me to the top. So I sent him to the top. I got down to my knees and legs. I started to crawl because that was the only safe way for me to go to the top. So I got down to my hands and knees. I start crawling every step, one step at a time. And by the time I went to the top, my team leader was clapping. I turned around and there was someone else taking a picture. I took my hand up, that victory gesture.
Right.
I was in the air. It felt so accomplished. But then I turned around. I start approaching to meet everybody, my teammate and all these other travelers at this big platform at the Sun Gate. I walked in. Everyone stood up, and they were clapping. They were cheering for me. And I actually got a pin from Canada. It was an honorary citizen. I still have my pin. I still have my pin. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And that was a moment that I start to realize that I am capable. Like whatever it is throwing in front of me, that I am capable. As long as I set my mind to it.